Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in for this video. My name is David, I'm a life coach, and I'm here to hopefully supply some information to help you guys heal from your traumas. Today's video is something that really, I hope for most of you that are watching this, helps you kind of identify your own, some of the reasons for your own choices that you make, and why how we relate to people, and why we form relationships with specific people. And because I get asked all the time, how do you know if someone's toxic? How do you identify a narcissist right away? Things like this, people that have personality disorders. And so I want to go over what I believe are things that supply false trust. False trust. This is a problem for many of us, and I'm, on the assumption that those of you watching this video have a history of narcissistic parenting, from narcissistic parents, narcissistic abuse, and neglectful relationships, trauma. We tend to trust people too soon, too quick, for reasons that may be not good ones. False trust. Okay, so I'm going to go over some of these examples that I have. There are more. These are ones that I came up with in the last couple days. So one thing is we tend to, and here's something that I want to say now that I'm going to say, I could probably say with every example, maybe. Let's see. I didn't think about it till now. But we tend to gravitate to what we identify with. Very, very important. Okay? And so some of the first things to get out of the way is sharing physical traits. We tend to gravitate and maybe trust people more so that look more like us. Okay? And that could be gender, age, race, skin tone, height, weight, hair color, even eyes, stuff like this. And this is actually the term is called perceived attitudinal similarity. And I kind of like, for another one here, let's see. Here, I'll get to it. Maybe similar backgrounds. And it could be, I grew up in the same small town, but I never met you yet till now we're adults, so I trust you more. It may be, whatever it is. I had strict parents. We're both really, really poor, came from a poor neighborhood area, or, our parents were very, very rich, and but really neglected us or spoiled us. I grew up like this. Similar backgrounds, and most important, similar traumas. This is really important for most of you watching this. Similar traumas. And I'll go back to the saying, we gravitate to what we identify with. And so, real important. It's like, I went through this too. It could be, I had a boyfriend or girlfriend that was a narcissist too. And this is really common. You guys are going to see this if you haven't already. You're going to date people who have similar, they're going to say they had similar experiences you have had. I've been emotionally abused. My husband, my wife abused me too. I had parents that abused me. It was traumatic, neglectful. I was sexually abused, whatever it is. And it's going to be something that we identify with. And then we trust them, depending on where we are at in our life. And I'll get to that last. Because really, does your trauma define you? Very important question to ask yourself. A lot of people ask me, David, how do you know you're healed? How do you know you're healed from this? I'm not sure. Does your trauma still define you? Or maybe more what you've done with it? How do you feel about it now? Looking back. Are we looking back? Discovery. This is false trust. When someone has discovered someone else is hurting you, someone else is doing something bad, something's wronging you in some way. And this is very typical in a group. This is how a sociopath will get themselves into a group that they may feel like they can't get into otherwise. Lots of envy, the sociopath. And I call it the sociopath step over. They'll pick someone in the group, single them out as being this horrible person. You can't trust them. They're bad. They've done you wrong. They're going to hurt you. They had plans. And look, I'm the one who did it. And they immediately are now in the group. They get rid of that person. Now you're in the group. Just for that. And it may not even be true, right? Set people up. Just accuse them. Happens a lot. You guys see it on social media. But, you know, hey, I found out your friend was really plotting to hurt you or told me this behind your back and stuff like that. And now we feel like we can really trust that person. And we just met them yesterday. Can we trust them just because they did that? What if it's not even true? I hear that a lot. Okay. This is a good one. This is a good one. Reuniting, being reunited with people from your past. I just want to leave it at that. I'm not even going to say real relationships with, okay? I remember, let me use an example when I was a child. I went to school. I lived in one state as a small child. And let's say before I was even a teenager, I moved to another state far away across the country and started going to school somewhere else. And it was the next year, a student from my school, no kidding, states away, not even common places to move to or move from, attended my school. I saw them, I recognized them. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's you, right? And they're like, yeah, David, right? I'm like, yeah, oh my God. And I immediately felt like I could trust them. Now, I recognized them from my school, in my grade, my class, but I never really knew them. I don't think I ever even talked to them, never said hi, just recognize each other and feel like I could trust them. Now, I've seen this a lot in narcissistic relationships, a lot, where us victims knew somebody in our past. And remember when our 20s, we had lots more friends and stuff, hopefully. You know, we tend to have less and less friends as we get older. It's a natural thing. We want quality, not so much quantity. When we're kids, we have no quality, all quantity, typically. And maybe it was someone in our group, and it was a large group. It was a group of 25, you know, and when we got together in the summertime, we go camping, and then here's somebody we knew, right? And we kind of hung out with a lot at night, you know, around the fire. We had some good times drinking. That's another thing. False trust is because we got high or did drugs with them. I didn't even write that down. That's a new one. And that's it, though. We never really got to know them, talk to them. We don't know what they do with their lives and anything like that. It was just, you know, in the summertime, a couple times camping, and then we see them again. We run into them every year for a couple years, or, you know, 3 times maybe. And now I see them 25 years later or something, 20 years later, right? And, oh my God, I remember you. Oh, we had so much fun. All my memories were safe. My brain says, I recognize you. You're familiar. I can now identify with you. And all my experiences with you were not bad. You didn't try to hurt me or kill me. You're safe. I trust you. Do you? Can you? You don't know that person. False trust. False trust. Just be aware of these things. Just to be aware of some of these things, okay? Acts of kindness or giving. We see this all the time. I use Ted Bundy as an example, right? He donated his time to people who needed help. Good way to find his new prey and stuff. But that's a pretty extreme example. I'm talking about somebody who maybe always pays. I got the tab. Oh, I can trust them. They're nice. Gives me money when I need it. Helps me out. Always asks me if I need help. Helping me when I'm not even asking. I can trust them. They're so outgoing. They care about me so much. Make large donations. Pillar of the community. Lots of family and friends like them. Seem to trust them. They're nice. Their family's nice. Has a bunch of friends. You know, narcissists can have a ton of, well, maybe not friends, but acquaintances. Kind of like when we were young, we had lots of friends, but really don't know each other too well. Now, a lot of this is just too soon. This is what makes it false trust. And here's one. Sex. I'm not saying making love and emotional connection. This is before we know someone too well, right? One night stand. We were naked. We were vulnerable. We had sex, we had pleasure, we shared it together, it was intimate. And it went well. You were nice, you were respectful afterwards. I can totally trust you now. Or you still call me. I can trust you. Too soon means it's false trust, right? And what is too soon, dude? Because I've heard some crazy dating rules out there that makes me feel old and so out of touch with dating. It's like, oh, David, I always do the 3-date rule, so don't worry. And this is coming from women. I don't know if it makes a difference, but women. Oh, yeah, I always do the 3-date rule, David. like the 3-date rule, I'm guessing, okay, you have sex always on the 3rd date. And they're like, yeah, I always wait till the 3rd date. And I'm like, oh, you wait till the 3rd date. It's that hard. Huh. Well, that's a good rule. I'm glad you live by that. Yeah. Why not the 4th or 5th date? 5th, 6th. Too soon, too soon, too soon. We gravitate to what we identify with. So, heal and be healthy. People say, why do I attract narcissists, David? Why do I attract all these sick, unhealthy people? I used to a lot. Was even attracted to them a lot sometimes. Not all of them, but I don't attract them as much anymore. And I'm definitely not attracted to them anymore. Okay? Best advice, right? Be healthy. Heal. Recover. Okay? Love to hear what you guys think. Love to hear some of your examples too. I know there's more. Tell me some of your examples. I really would love to hear it. And I think anybody watching this video would love to hear it from you guys. If you guys know some, write it down there. I appreciate it. Thank you. Love yourself first, guys. I'll see you guys later. Bye.